Welcome back to the Jennifer Quapis podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer. And in today's episode, we're unpacking a mindset that sneaks into all of our lives at some point, and that's extreme thinking. You know, those all or nothing moments when we see situations as either perfect or disastrous, successes or failures. This kind of rigid thinking might feel safe in the moment, but it can hold us back from growth, creativity, and resilience. We'll explore why extreme thinking happens, how it impacts our decisions, and most importantly, how to break free from it. Whether you've caught yourself saying, I'll never get this right, or if it doesn't work out perfectly, it's a disaster, this episode is for you. So get comfortable, grab a notebook if you're ready to take notes, and let's dive into the messy middle, the space where balance, growth, and freedom from extremes truly happens. Okay, everybody, we're talking about extreme thinking. And if you're not sure exactly what I mean by this, I'm going to kind of set the stage. I know for me, it's just about every and any excuse that comes into my life to not continue with my exercise plan. So, uh, I can't get to the gym after work because my kids have sports. So might as well just not even work out. Well, that's extreme, right? Like, okay, maybe you can't get to the gym after work, but you could walk on your lunch break or pick up some dumbbells and weights and do some exercises at home. It's not an all or nothing situation at all. Another one for me is I don't look good, so forget it. I'm not going to take the pictures. Okay, well, that's also extreme because you're going to want to remember the moment and be in the photos with your kids. So, who cares if your hair isn't done or your makeup isn't perfect? Just get in the damn photo, right? So, hopefully, that kind of set the stage and you can relate a little bit more to what I mean by extreme thinking. So, understanding extreme thinking is also, I learned, called polarized thinking. And this happens when we see situations as black and white, ignoring the shades of gray in between. So, I want to explain the 5 reasons that extreme thinking usually happens. And number one is fear and stress. When we're faced with uncertainty or high pressure situations, our brains default to extreme thinking as a way to simplify a complex problem. This can create a false sense of control or clarity, even though it's truly limiting your perspective. Some common examples of this is if I don't ace this project, I'm a failure. Or if this relationship isn't perfect, it's doomed. Or I can't fix this problem immediately, so there's no hope, right? So when you have these thoughts, I want you to challenge them and ask yourself, am I exaggerating? Is there another way to look at this? Remember, we don't have to believe every thought that comes into our brains. Just because we think it doesn't mean it's true or even rational. I said what I said, and I think I just heard someone gasp. But it's true. Instead of believing the next thought that pops into your mind, stop and challenge yourself to think on it further, or even to think about it from an entirely different approach. Okay, so number one, I said was fear and stress as to why we go through extreme ways of thinking. And number two is perfectionism. Perfectionists often struggle with extreme thinking because they set rigid standards for themselves. If they fall short, they may view their efforts as complete failures rather than recognizing the incremental progress. But the truth is that growth happens in that messy middle, that spot where we think we're stuck or what we're doing isn't worthwhile. This is where all the growth and the progress happens. This is where high achievers are made because in that spot, you'll learn ways to stay consistent, overcome the temptations to quit. And that, guys, is growth. Sometimes the blessings come in forms other than the goals we intended to set out and achieve. And there's beauty in the lessons and there's growth in the failure. So, number three is past experiences. Traumatic or negative past experiences can reinforce extreme thinking patterns. For instance, if someone faced harsh criticism for a mistake, they might have developed a fear of failure that leads to polarized thinking. Learn to listen to others' criticism, knowing that you can throw it in the mental trash can. Or perhaps you can digest the criticism in a healthy manner and use it to elevate your potential or map out your next move. Number four, to reasons why we go through extreme thinking could be mental health conditions. Extreme thinking is often associated with conditions like anxiety and depression. These conditions can amplify negative thought patterns and make it harder to see situations in a balanced way. If you're noticing that you're regularly viewing situations, aspirations, or even daily tasks in extreme ways in black or white, all or nothing, please speak with a trusted friend or better yet, your doctor to find out if you're experiencing some kind of anxiety or depression. If your brain constantly takes you down a rabbit hole, guys, like the kind of thought pattern where you're like, I can't take a shower because then I'm going to have to blow dry my hair, do my makeup, get dressed. And I don't have time for that because the dishwasher needs to get unloaded before I have to make dinner. These are extreme thought patterns, okay? I want you to recognize this and also that some changes may need to be made. And I say that with all the love in my heart because I've been there. My extreme thinking patterns at one point prevented me from doing simple tasks, which led me to feeling more depressed because at the end of the day, I wasn't accomplishing the things that I wanted to get done that day. Shit, in many cases, I was still in my pajamas and not showered because I was immobilized by the constant thoughts that were draining me of all of my energy and leaving me stuck sitting there. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh my gosh, I've thought those things. Do I have some sort of depression or anxiety going on? Now, everybody has those thoughts and we all experience burnout, and it's just part of life, and being tired is okay, and having a lazy day is also welcomed when it's needed. But if you're having these thoughts on a regular basis, you know, daily, weekly, then maybe you need to have more of a conversation with a professional about it, because you are not weak for expressing that you may need some help or that you're stuck in a negative headspace. And I sat there for far too long before I reached out and got help to get me out of that rut. And you know what? The rut was only temporary. The moment I reached out and got help and got myself out of that rut, I progressively got better and better. So please know it is not a weakness, and we're all human, and it's just part of life and something that could happen. And if you're not quite ready to take the step of seeking professional help on it, I will tell you right now, I by no means am an expert, but what I will tell you is that having a routine will help you get out of that funk. No matter what you have to do that day, if you have to work or it's the weekend, do routine tasks every single day. So get up at the same time, get yourself ready, go for a walk, make your protein shake or whatever healthy breakfast you're going to have, because nutrition plays a huge part in our mental health as well. But once you have that established routine, you're not left thinking about it. You're just going to get used to going through those motions, and therefore it will hopefully break you out of that spell of it paralyzing you and you not being able to move forward with your day. Hopefully that helps you out. All right. So, number five is our inability to tolerate uncertainty. Some individuals struggle with ambiguity and uncertainty, which can lead to rigid black and white thinking as a coping mechanism. If I would have allowed uncertainty to rule my thought process, then I wouldn't be sitting here on this podcast talking with all of you today. I am 12 episodes in and still have no clue if this podcast will be successful and grow up to be all the things I want it to become. But you know what is for certain? I'd never know if I didn't just get started. I fought my desire for perfect and just bought a microphone and started talking into it. I had no idea how to build a website, edit and publish my recordings, or market a podcast to gain listeners, but here we are. And perhaps my vision for what I want it to be when it grows up doesn't come to light. But I've learned so much already along the way. And hopefully, something I've said or something one of my guests has said has helped you, enlightened you, pushed you to go for more, motivated you, or even just made you smile. And those things to me are a blessing. Anything you might be feeling uncertain about that keeps popping up is on your heart or mind for a reason. And it too will provide you and those around you with the same satisfaction and blessings as I just described. So now that you understand the five causes of extreme thinking, you've taken the first step from breaking free from it. I'm so proud of you. So now that we understand the five causes of extreme thinking, I want to talk about the impacts of it really quick and dive into some consequences. Extreme thinking can limit your ability to adapt, grow, and make progress. It leads to unnecessary stress, feelings of inadequacy, and stalled decision making. It also shuts down creativity and problem solving because when you're stuck in an all or nothing, you're less likely to explore alternative paths. Research shows that people who engage in more balanced thinking are 60% more likely to overcome challenges successfully than those who default to extreme perspectives. All right, so let's talk about how high achievers overcome extreme thinking and how I want you to overcome extreme thinking as well. First of all, high achievers don't rely on extremes. They embrace flexibility and the middle ground that we talked about. I'm going to highlight three strategies that high achievers use. Number one, reframe your challenges. Instead of saying, this will never work, they ask, what's one thing I can do to make this work? Number two, they focus on progress, not perfection. They celebrate small wins and recognize that success isn't always linear. Just get started and you'll figure it out and perfect it along the way. And number three, practice realistic optimism. High achievers combine hope with a grounded view of reality, seeing setbacks as only temporary rather than permanent, which is profound to me. If you can get your mind to recognize that a setback is only temporary and that you can proceed forward with all the lessons that you've learned from the past, then perfection is only around the corner. If you're like me and always on the lookout for new styles but hate the hassle of shopping, I've got just the thing for you. Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix is a personal styling service that sends you hand-picked clothing and accessories right to your door. Here's how it works. You'll start by filling out a quick quiz about your style preferences on their website or app. It's fun. It helps your stylist get to know your unique fashion preferences, sizes, and even your budget. Next, your personal stylist curates a box of items just for you. And let me tell you, they are spot on. Every piece feels like it was chosen just for me and it fits. You can try everything on in the comfort of your home, keep what you love, and send back what you don't. It's that easy. I've been using Stitch Fix for 3 years now, and it has completely transformed my wardrobe. No more crowded malls or endless scrolling through online stores. Plus, the excitement of receiving a new box and discovering what's inside is like opening a present. Best part, there's something for everyone: men, women, kids, you name it. Whether you need casual wear, workout outfits, or something special for an event, Stitch Fix has got you covered. And hey, if you're not sure about something, their customer service is top notch and is always ready to help. So if you're ready to elevate your style and make shopping a breeze, head over to stitchfix.com or download their app on your phone. Even better, head into the show notes and I'll include a link for $25 off your first order. Enjoy! So, we've covered the 5 ways to recognize extreme thought patterns. We've talked about the impact that extreme thinking has on you. We just said how high achievers overcome extreme thinking. And next, I want to talk about practical ways to eliminate extreme thinking. So, some actions you can take to eliminate it is to catch it early. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. When you hear yourself using extreme language, words like always, never, pause, and reassess. Then challenge the thought. Ask yourself, is this really true? Is what my brain is saying actually true? Am I being dramatic? What evidence do I have? Because oftentimes you'll find there's more nuance than you initially thought. And then we're going to seek common ground once we challenge the thought. Instead of swinging between extremes, look for balanced solutions. For example, if I can't do it perfectly, what's the next best option? So, finding another path forward. Once we find a new path forward, we're going to adopt mindfulness. Practice being present, which can help you break free from the mental traps of past failures or future worries. Again, I'm going to talk about the whole idea of manifesting and writing down your goals as if you've already achieved them. Because when you do this, you're training your brain to already think that these things have happened in your life. And therefore, it's overcoming any doubt that you might have in your mind. So adopt the mindfulness and then normalize failure. Remind yourself that failure is part of growth and it's a stepping stone, not a stop sign. Growth, again, I'm going to say it again, growth is in the gray areas. We want to embrace uncertainty because growth happens when you allow yourself to explore those gray areas. That messy middle is where the progress might not be so obvious, but it is absolutely happening. Combine hopefulness and practicality. Recognize the challenges, but maintain belief in your ability to address them. You can do it. And avoid overly positive thinking that ignores real obstacles. You don't want to set yourself up for failure by thinking that it's going to be easy, because if it were easy, everybody would be doing it. All right. So, some key takeaways on extreme thinking is that it might feel safe in the moment, but it limits your potential. So, don't think it can only be black or white. Remember, all those steps we just talked about to think it through, reevaluate it, find another way to get yourself a solution. Challenge those black and white thoughts and embrace balance. Open yourself up for growth and new possibilities. I want to leave you with a thought provoking question here. And my thought provoking question is not original. I heard it from somewhere else and it stuck out to me and I use it a lot. And that is, the next time you are faced with a challenge, instead of thinking all or nothing, ask yourself, what is one small step I can take forward? If you start to recognize some of your extreme thoughts and are practicing some of the things we talked about today, please let me know how these strategies resonate with you. Reach out on social media and share your story. Life isn't about perfection or extremes. It's about finding your way through the chaos and thriving in the balance. And that's a wrap on today's conversation on breaking free from extreme thinking. Remember, the path to growth isn't always about perfection or absolutes. It's about finding balance and embracing the gray areas. Eliminating rigid thought patterns opens doors to creativity, adaptability, and resilience, helping you move forward even when things feel uncertain. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and more importantly, share it with a friend or someone that might need to hear this perspective. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so connect with me on social media or drop me a message. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, take a deep breath, challenge those limiting beliefs, and remember, progress doesn't always have to be perfect. You've got this. We'll see you next time.